ears right now because, you know, you can promise all you want leading up to the election. Show me something when you get on the job. That's my whole thing. Like I'm not even going to vote this year because I'm not. I don't care. You know, it's like if somebody shows me something, then I'll vote in the next election. But as far as this is concerned, it's all just a battle of bullshit at this point, and I'm personally not going to be one for it. I do know that we're in a terrible spot as a nation. I know there are a lot of people who are yay pro-America, but, you know, they've never been overseas. They've never seen all the shit and all the enemies that we're making. You know, if anything, we're in a worse spot than we were 8 years ago. And, you know, people need to remember that. And you know, we are still, we may be the greatest country on the planet, we're still vulnerable. And what we do, what we do as people is going to reflect us. So they better figure it out. And, you know, because it's getting bad, man. It's getting really bad. I mean, the fact that Bush served 2 terms, let alone 1, is destructive, okay? It's ridiculous. And the fact that, you know, a lot of people are talking about continuing this damn war it's scary. It's very scary. You know, I want to know what people are going to do about that. I've got family over there. I got friends over there. I want to know. And you better be damn convincing.
Yeah, it is scary, but maybe that's the point. I mean, it seems like, you know, not to turn this into a McNeil-Lehrer hour, but the government seems to thrive on this environment of fear, this sort of you know, situation where if they keep the populace terrified, it keeps people from asking serious questions, and it keeps people
control.
Yeah.
It's control, and it gives them an excuse every time to take a little more away. Take a little more away. You know, when did people decide that they didn't want to fend for themselves? That's what I want to know. When did people decide that they were tired of making their own decisions and they were tired of speaking their minds? I mean, it's pathetic, you know, that 98% of this goddamn country, they have such a sheep mentality that it's no surprise that we have the regime that we have right now, that who have butchered almost every damn civil right we've had in the last 20 years, you know. It's ridiculous. And the only people we have to blame is ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because those people look at what you're doing as you know, destructive and a bad influence, but you're really telling kids to think for themselves and to really get out there and to question authority and to you know, really not just take things at face value.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the world isn't pretty, okay? Straight up. I mean, it has its pretty moments, but it's not pretty. And no adult is going to come out and be like, look, you've got to figure shit out for themselves. They're just trying to push them through a system who doesn't give a shit. And for me, that is unacceptable. So I have to step out and I have to be like, look, this is what's happening. This is my opinion. If you agree or disagree, it doesn't really matter. You have to make up your own minds, you know. We are teaching children to be lemmings, and we should be teaching them how to be wolves. And if nobody else is going to do it, then I'm just going to have to stand up and be like, look, listen, this is the way it is. You have to choose for yourself. You have to figure out your life. Life does not end after high school. Life begins after high school, and you better have your collective shit together or we're going to fail.
It's funny. It seems like young people think they know it all. I know I did, but as I get older, I feel like the older I know and maybe the more wisdom I have, the less I actually do know about anything.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the thing you have to realize is that you have to give up everything you think you know. And there are no universal answers. There aren't. Everybody who thinks they have an answer is going to be wrong 9 times out of 10 because you can't blanket shit with one surefire answer. You have to live life and figure shit out for yourself.
Back to the record, your music has always really thrived on discord and conflict, and it's been no secret that the creation of the albums have been full of strife and conflict and trauma in a good way because it turns into this wonderful creative force. Was it the same case this time around, or were you all in a better headspace?
Well, a little of both. never going to have a harmonious Slipknot album. Let's put it that way. We got along for the most part. But like I said, it's like you say, the tension is really what brings out the creativity, and that's one of the things that I've had to accept, is that it is that tension that really makes us go above and beyond. It doesn't always work for other bands, but for us, for some reason, it works, and we get along fine. I think it helped that we could go home every night and we could be in our own houses every night. I know that knocked a little bit of the edge off, and I know we were, with the exception of the 30-minute drive every day, we were all really okay, and we put together something that really surprises me. I mean, it goes above and beyond what I thought was going to happen, and I know everybody's happy with it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, what does it really matter? We got it done, and now we're going to go tour. And we're actually in really good headspaces right now from tour.
Did you do this one in Iowa simply because you'd be closer to your own families and you'd be able to just kind of unwind and exhale that poison once you were out of the studio?
That was a lot of different reasons, It was one of them. But at the same time, we just kind of looked at each other and was like, look, man, we've earned the right to be able to record in our home state. We don't have to go to L.A. or to California and wipe our ass with a shit ton of fucking money. We can bring people in, and we can do it here, and it will sound fabulous because we're not mooks anymore. We're not 24, 25 years old anymore. We know what we want. We know what we're doing. And that showed a really good amount of trust on the record label's part by allowing us to. And I think they were pleasantly blown away by what they heard. So I'm really glad that they gave us that little bit of confidence, and it showed that we've learned a lot, and we've learned how to do something, and we trust our instincts.
And Dave Fortman produced this album?
Oh yeah.
Was that something that was a real advantage for you? Because, I mean, you're a producer yourself. You would think at this point that you guys could say, well, we're just taking the production helm.
Well, it helped, man. I learned a lot from Dave, honestly, man. Me and him worked really well together. I mean, there wasn't a moment when I was tracking my vocals that we didn't stop and we didn't gut laugh over something, man. So it was pretty sweet. We had a really good time. We got to be really close, and we've been talking every other day. So it was a total pleasure. As much as we'd earned the right to do the album here, it was still a matter of the record label. They didn't really want to take any chances, So Dave was a guy that was going to come in, and he was going to help us do exactly what we wanted to do. And by the way, he got fantastic sounds on this album. This is probably going to be the best sounding Slipknot album ever, and I include Volume 3. Wow.
So was there ever a moment where you were a little hesitant, like, I don't know, man, this guy's got Evanescence and Mudvayne on his credits, and no diss on either of those bands, but they're certainly not.
Yeah, but he's also done Superjoint.
Sure, yeah.
He's done some heavy stuff, and he's just a fan, And when you're a fan of something, you really want to go above and beyond. You want to make a great album, The guy, he's no dope, He knows what he's doing, and it took a few guys a little time to figure that out, but once we did, it was on, and proof is in the pudding, man. There's some moments on this album that are just going to fucking destroy buildings. It's just that goddamn simple.
Yeah, the musicianship is really, really startling. I mean, you've always been able to play, of course, but, I mean, it feels like everyone's really on key and on point, and from what I've read, it seems like everyone was really coming to the table with ideas and contributing more this time maybe than past go-rounds.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. I mean, this time around, we didn't turn anything down. Let's put it that way. If somebody wanted to try something, we tried it, and 9 times out of 10, it stuck. So it was pretty sweet. A lot of different changes on this, and I think that just comes